Rwanda's president wants the UK to extradite 5 suspects for alleged roles in the East African country's 1994 genocide. That's after British judges blocked the extradition on the grounds the suspects will not receive a fair trial. The request comes weeks after a controversial deal between the two countries that will see British asylum seekers relocated to Rwanda from where their applications will be processed.
When the UK is sending us these migrants, they should send us some people they have accommodated for over 15 years who committed crimes in Rwanda. We sent case files to the UK and investigated. These are clear case files. Instead of being accommodated there in that beautiful place of the UK, they should be in jail, either in the UK or here.
Between April and June 1994, an estimated 800,000 Rwandans were killed in the space of 100 days. Most of the dead were from the Tutsi tribe, and most of those who perpetrated the violence were Hutus. The genocide has been an irritant in relations between the two countries for many years. Let's cross live now to Claude Gatabuke, Rwandan genocide survivor and executive director for the African Great Lakes Action Network, or AGLAN. Thank you very much for joining us on the programme. We appreciate your time. As a survivor...
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. As a survivor of the tragedy, what do you think about the extradition of these genocide suspects from the UK?
As a survivor of the genocide, I would actually like to see justice served against the perpetrators of the genocide. That includes members of the RPF, which is the ruling party in Rwanda that was led by Kagame, who also had a role in the genocide, starting with the shooting down of the president's plane in 1994 that actually started the genocide. Also, I would rather see the suspects tried in the UK, given how the Rwandan government treats survivors of that genocide and uses the genocide as a tool of repression inside of Rwanda and as blackmail against the international community. I want to give a quick example. There is a man named Aimable Karasira, a university professor, a musician. He and his brother are the lone survivors from the genocide and also atrocities that took place after the genocide. He spoke about the killing of his family after the genocide by the RPF, and now he's been arrested. It's been about a year now since he was arrested, and since last fall, he has been disappeared. No one has seen him anywhere in court or in public, but he has not been sentenced. So the treatment of genocide survivors shows me that the government of Rwanda is not interested in, and Paul Kagame is not interested in justice for on the genocide, but also because the RPF itself has some responsibilities in that genocide. So I would rather see them tried in the UK.
Do you expect the UK to arrange a trial on its own soil for those 5 people?
I hope so. I hope that they will do that, because I think it's important in order for not only Rwandans, but the international community to continue moving forward and actually building a more lasting, peaceful region in the Great Lakes region of Africa. Justice must be served and the truth must come to light. And if there is a fair trial, which there's a much higher chance of a fair trial in the UK than there is in Rwanda, I think that would help in contributing to the truth. It would help in those of us who survived the genocide and many people who lost their families in figuring out what happened to their families. And also, justice is really the foundation to lasting peace. There is no other way. Truth and justice have to be at the forefront of lasting peace.
The latest from the UK is that there's nothing that ties the current migration partnership deal and extradition together. Can you see the Rwandan president's statement affecting the implementation of the current asylum deal?
Yeah, I think so. Kagame's statement will serve as a pressure point. Kagame, the president of Rwanda, is excellent at blackmailing the international community using the genocide. So now that he has this, I call it a human trafficking deal with the UK, where Rwanda is serving as basically a dumping ground for people the UK is not wanting on their soil, and is selling them to Rwanda. Kagame will use this as leverage to go after the people that he wants extradited, not because he cares about justice, but because it serves his political interest.
And so, under the deal, Rwanda will be paid £120 million initially to receive refugees who arrive illegally in the UK. Do you think that's a big enough amount to provide all that's necessary for the refugees?
You know, I don't think we even get there as far as this money being enough to provide the necessary for the refugees, because this deal should not even happen. People should not be moved to countries that they're not wanting to go to. And considering what's happened to other refugees who either fled to Rwanda or were sent to Rwanda, there is no amount of money that can justify this human trafficking deal. There was a deal between Rwanda and Israel to send refugees in Israel, Eritreans and Sudanese, to Rwanda. It was supposed to be $20 million. The deal fell through. But what happened, there was a pilot of actually sending those refugees to Rwanda. When they got there, they were extorted of their money. They never received any papers to resettle. They never got any jobs, no schools. The women were raped. The children were abused and impregnated. And some of those refugees ended up dumped at the border of Uganda. They fled again. They ended up in slavery in Libya, and some of them have ended up back in Europe. Two other examples: Burundian refugees who fled to Rwanda in 2015 have been conscripted to join rebel groups that are destabilizing the Great Lakes region. Instead of being safe in Rwanda, they're being recruited to go and be killed in the regional wars. Lastly, Congolese refugees who had their food rations cut down in 2017. They protested that, and they actually demanded to be returned to the Congo. The Rwandan government responded by actually shooting them. They massacred refugees in the Kiziba refugee camp, who are Congolese refugees, and arrested a whole bunch of them who are still serving time now without actually trials. So again, we don't even get to the point of, there should be not even a point of these 120 million pounds. Lastly, I think this is like I said, human trafficking. It's really slavery. You know, that's the basic way I can put it. There should not be selling human beings from one country to another, you know, both either for the convenience of not having unwanted people or refugees or asylum seekers on that ground, or for the benefit of another country to basically make some money off of the deal.
Claude Gassabuke, Rwandan genocide survivor and executive director for the African Great Lakes Action Network. Thank you very much for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.